regular, and that is you, Dr. Tshepo Moloi, researcher at the Ali Mazrui Centre for Higher Education at UJ. We are going to be looking at the issue around the opinion piece that was penned by Lindiwe Sisulu, Minister of Tourism, and it undoubtedly has created a lot of debate and discussion. So obviously, Dr. Moloi is going to weigh in on this issue as well. Now, not everyone obviously is necessarily, you know, against what Lindiwe Sisulu has put out in her opinion piece, but I think what people are questioning is the timing of that piece and the issues that she raised regarding the Constitution, which, according to her, is not pro black women, it is not pro poor, and she also raised the issue of land reformation. Questions being asked by certain politicians is, where was she all this time? Where has this come from at this point in time? Is it because the elective conference is around the corner? And when I say around the corner, we know we're talking December, but time goes by so quickly. So we're going to ask Dr. Moloi to give us his insights into the situation. And just also knowing that in this week, President Ramaphosa reflected firstly on the fire that ravaged Parliament and other attacks on the country's key institutions. What is that saying to us? What do we read into those musings of Cyril Ramaphosa? He went on to say that South Africa needed to protect the constitution, the democratic state, and electoral process from those seeking to weaken democracy and our hard won freedom. However, he's still completely mum on Sisulu's remarks, which are a contravention of public policy. A very good morning to you, Dr. Moloi. Lovely talking to you once again. You've heard my very long introduction, and I hand over to you to respond.
Assalamu alaikum to you, Julie, and to the rest of the listeners. And thank you for the response. Now, just up front, the last time you and I spoke on Black Wednesday, I did say I'm not a member of AZAPO or PAC or any of those Black Conscious parties.
Yes.
On this issue as well, I wish to say two things. I am a child of ANC parents. However, I have gone my own way because I don't believe in petty partisan politics. So that's the first thing that I want to put out there as I comment. And the second is, the Constitution says its 25-year anniversary on the 10th of December 2021. Now, if this conversation was happening as part of that, then I think we were going to be having a more honest dialogue, debate, and the like. Unfortunately, so these are the first two things that I just wanted to put out there. And I must say again, I have never been a fan. I've never supported. I've never been on the side of those that agree with the Constitution. Okay, so that it's clear. All right. That's my. Okay, so let's get into the whole Lindiwe Sisulu saga. Actually, I think we should do ourselves justice because so much is said, and a lot of people just confuse a lot of things, and we understand the confusion that we are now sitting with as a nation. For the public to follow, we need to be very, very particular in our statements. It will be helpful if we look at the chronology of events. Minister Lindiwe Sisulu's article, Hi Mzansi, Have We Seen Justice? came out on the 6th of January 2022. Of course, this is 2 days before the January 8th date. And then on the 9th of January, which was a Sunday, Lindiwe Sisulu's extraordinary attack on South African Constitution. That article comes out by the ANC veteran Mavuso Msimang, and he really just interrogates and questions, the authenticity of Lindiwe Sisulu's remarks in her open letter. And then on the 10th, on the Monday, an opinion piece came out titled Lindiwe Sisulu's Attack on the Constitution, a Distortion of ANC Policy. Now, why do I bring this up? It's because the author is Crispian Phiri. And when he is interviewed on TV, ENCA, he is introduced as a member of the ANC Youth League. Only in this article is he introduced properly as the spokesperson of the Minister of Justice. So again, follow how the media and the narrative has also just misled people along the way conveniently. And then on the 11th of January, Acting Chief Justice Raymond Zondo calls a press conference, and he says the judiciary is being insulted. Minister Lindiwe Sisulu, as a member of the executive branch, she has sworn an oath to the Constitution. Therefore, she needs to apologize, and perhaps Cyril Ramaphosa, as the president, needs to basically address her. Of course, we know earlier in that Mavuso Msimang article, he went as far as saying she needs to be sanctioned. Okay? And on the 12th of January, the Wednesday, Lindiwe Sisulu comes out again with a second article. And here she responds to the criticism against her first article. But her response really is focused on Mavuso Msimang's article. So she doesn't really address a lot of other voices that came out. She really just focuses on Mavuso Msimang's opinion at piece in the Daily Maverick. And then on the same day, now commentators are all coming out guns blazing. No need for Judge Zondo to call a press conference to react to Minister Sisulu. That's the title of the one article. Second article by Modiba is the cabal's attack on Lindiwe Sisulu is an attack on all of us. Here, this is a co-founder of Insight Factor, and he really now brings out the whole, you don't do this to a black woman, who's been a freedom fighter. Everyone that's critiquing Lindiwe Sisulu is on the wrong side of history, and all of that, right? And then on Thursday, the 13th of January, we have an article, of course, now political scientists, also weigh in. And here my colleague Ralph Mateja really does best, links this article with what Professor Duvenage did to say this is the launch of Lindiwe Sisulu's presidential campaign. Okay.
I kind of also got that sense. And sorry for the interruption, but let me just throw in one or two more questions and then give you the floor. Is South Africa ready for a female president? And is she the caliber of president that the country would follow? I kind of question that very seriously. I'm also apolitical, so to speak. I want what is best for us in South Africa. I'm very pro-woman because I'm a woman myself, obviously. So I'm all for women's rights and women to be in key leadership positions. But is she the right candidate is what I ask. Over to you, Dr. Moloi.
Okay. Your intervention and your two questions are noted. I will return to them shortly. On the 13th of January, Thursday, we have Gwede Mantashe coming in saying Sisulu did not bring the party into disrepute. Let's remember, he...
Hello? Dr. Moloi, are you there? Hello. Do you just want to turn around or something? I'm losing you at a very crucial juncture, I might add. So just turn around and repeat what you said.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Just remain where you are.
So I said I noted your two questions, and I'll return to them shortly.
Okay.
On Thursday, the 13th of January, Gwede Mantashe weighs in and says Sisulu did not bring the party into disrepute. Now, we know that, we haven't forgotten, he also attacked judges around 2016, 2017. And the same was done by President Jacob Zuma, obviously for obvious reasons because of his court case, right? So what Lindiwe Sisulu is doing here is really consistent, really. There's nothing new here, okay? And then on the 14th of January, we again now officially, for the first time, he comes out not in the guise of his spokesperson. The Minister of Justice, Ronald Lamola, comes out with a piece called "Let's Debate Positive Actions in Pursuit of a Democratic Society." And then this is the third response now from Minister Lindiwe Sisulu. She now then, I think on the 16th, so 2 days later, she then responds to Minister Ronald Lamola. And then of course, going into a Sunday, it was a field day for analysts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I wanted. Why did I give this chronology? A lot of commentators, a lot of people participating in this conversation are either taking sides or have actually not had the patience to read for themselves and not run with public opinion. Minister Lindiwe Sisulu has written 3 pieces, and people need to go and read all 3 before they start making any utterances which border on being callous. Okay? And it is not true that President Cyril Ramaphosa has not responded, because we know in his position, the response that has come through the office of the presidency, through the minister in the presidency, Umondli Ngunkubele, which has distanced themselves from Minister Lindiwe Sisulu's remarks. So that response, therefore, we mustn't, say the president didn't respond, because that has been done through the presidency. And, for me, what is important is that what I said in my opening remark about the Constitution, we must not be hoodwinked to think that we are having an honest debate and an honest conversation about the relevance of the Constitution, about the relevance of law, about questions about African law, because this conversation happens. You raise the question of the timeliness. This conversation begins on the 6th, which is 2 days before the January 8th statement. If we know what we know, which is the suspicions that Minister Sisulu is really putting her bid to once more, be a contender for the ANC presidency come December 2022, then we can never, therefore, look and take whatever has come from her, out of context. We need to contextualize it. Now, has she raised good points? Listen, let's not debate this. She has raised excellent points. Has she done them properly? No. She has insulted. She has divided the very public that she is claiming that she's speaking for. And it's been bordering on irresponsibility. How can you call your own senior veteran of the ANC the names that she's called, and I don't want to repeat them yet,
Right.
And of course, she does exactly what people suspect. She evokes sectionalism, something that she claims, Mr. Msimang is actually pro. And so all these things don't help. Now you asked me two questions. Is South Africa ready for a female president? I think this is a non-question, to be honest. The ANC has been reckless. Last year, they turned the Charlotte Maxloyke year. But the ANC has never had a female president. We know that Nkosazana Zuma is the first in the history of the ANC to be a presidential candidate. How late in the day is that? In the 110, in the 110 existence of the ANC.
Yes.
Right? And so we need, a black female president. It is long overdue for various reasons.
Okay, I'm going to come in here again. Dr. Moloi, I'm going to come in here again.
For the next generation to believe that even girls can become heads of state in the patriarchal society that is South Africa. I may add in the rape capital that is South Africa.
Yeah.
Right? So we do need a strong...
Do we have the caliber? Do we have that caliber of women in our country?
Julie, that is a non-question. There are so many women that have the caliber. But is Lindiwe Sisulu, if you're interested in that, I'll have to say, hell no.
That's what I was waiting to hear. Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. But at that point, unfortunately, I do need to end the discussion. We do have to go for ad breaks, and our next guest is standing by. Final word to you, Dr. Moloi, till next week at the same time, of course.
Inshallah, Allah. Allahu Akbar.
Ameen, thumma ameen. Right, so you have no final words. We'll hook up again with you next week at the same time. Always wonderful to talk to you and get your insights onto issues around politics in our country and beyond. It is exactly 13 after 9, and we unfortunately don't have financial updates this morning. However, we do hope that we'll get them tomorrow, but do know that this slot is sponsored by Randry Jewelers. So stay with us, and in a minute or two, we'll get on with our interviews for the morning.
What makes Randry Jewelers the optimum place for your memorable gift?